They get up. Our next stop, Cleveland Browns rookie quarterback Shedeur Sanders expected to play in tomorrow's preseason finale against the Rams. Yesterday, he was asked about that entertainers versus competitors comment that Dylan Gabriel, another rookie quarterback there, made during an in-game interview last week that some interpreted as a dig at Shedeur Sanders. Here's what he said.
Spoke with him. He said, "Nah, bro, that wasn't." He said that wasn't. He told me on the plane. He came up. He was like, "Nah, bro, that wasn't at you. I see how they trying to spin." I'm like, "Oh, all right." I'm not tripping, regardless of whatever it was. Nobody's words or anything affects me, you know. So, yeah.
So did you believe him when he told you it wasn't on you?
Did I believe him?
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like you're trying to start stuff now. I feel like you're trying to start stuff. I mean, he's doing his job. He's supposed to. Do I feel like he did? I don't know. And that's not on me to sit here and be like, oh, he did, he didn't. That's not going to change my life in any way.
Interesting at minimum, right? Like, we play this game sometimes, something or nothing. So this whole little kerfuffle, if indeed it even is one, is it something or nothing?
I mean, it's nothing. Guys actually fight. Like, I don't know if you know this, but guys actually throw fists in football practice sometimes. So there's tension. I've been a part of position battles that aren't the backup quarterback position battle. Yeah. And there's tension. It doesn't really do anything. It doesn't mean anything. So I think it's nothing. It was clear that neither of them. So Gabriel obviously said something that could be interpreted the way that we're all interpreted. Shedeur had the opportunity to shut it down. He chose not to. I don't care about it, and I think that he doesn't care either, but I don't know. This is not going to get in the way of anything.
I mean, look, I have 2 points here. One, I don't think that Dylan Gabriel, for whatever it's worth, I don't think he was taking a shot. This is not Taylor Swift at an award show dropping Easter eggs for Taylor Swift 13. That's not what's happening here.
I was about to say, Taylor got beef? What happened?
Yeah, no. She's just sending messages that way. I don't think that's
could
what
be
was
saying we've got, if you're going to use a Taylor reference, then we could say we got bad blood.
Right,
we used to have mad love, but then you made a deep cut. I mean, I know the words to the song.
They never had mad love.
This is your fault, Brooke. This is your fault.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Yes.
For all the Swifties that are tuning in.
Right.
But here's the other thing. I really appreciate the way that Shedeur handled that back and forth with the reporter, because I can tell you, as a reporter sitting in that seat, you want to build a rapport with the quarterback, and you want to me, if he had sniped right back at him and been short and been kind of bristly at it, then I would think, oh, there's more there. Oh, something's going on. I almost think he did shut it down with the tone that he had. Because if he had been, again, curt, then I would think, okay, I need to keep digging. I need to ask more follow-up questions.
All right, so Graziano, here's what I want to throw, because you've been there and you've talked to everybody involved, and you have a much better sense than I do of where everyone's head is involved in this situation. There's one part of me that thinks these are two rookie quarterbacks vying for a backup job, so why in the world would this be significant to anyone anyway? There's another part of me that thinks this isn't just that, though. Shedeur Sanders is not your run-of-the-mill fifth-round quarterback. He's just not. And what winds up happening with him is going to be of enormous interest to a lot of people. Sure. It may or may not be of great consequence to the Cleveland Browns' future, but it is of enormous interest to people. Sure. And Dylan Gabriel is the guy who was unexpectedly drafted in the third round ahead of him. So there's a uniqueness to the situation that makes it interesting to me one way or the other.
I would agree. I don't know the ins and outs of their relationship or whether they have one. But yeah, the situation is you have a fairly wide open competition here, because the starter is Joe Flacco, who's 40 years old and not the future of the franchise. Kenny Pickett, who's in front of both of them on the depth chart, hasn't been able to stay healthy. So at this point, it looks like one of the two rookies is going to be the backup on Week 1 in Week 1's game against the Bengals. So they are in a competition. I don't think this whole thing has nothing to do with that competition.
Correct. But
I think to Brooks' point about how do you carry yourself in the building, I think what we've heard about Shedeur Sanders has all been positive in that front. So obviously showing maturity there and handling a weird situation probably the right way.
Not his first rodeo. I mean, he's experienced it from his dad. He's been around. He's been a high-profile athlete for a long time. But listen, the competition was on when you drafted me. So we understand. Yeah. Men can be teammates and be respectful, but it's still a competition. At the end of the day, it's not over till I win, to quote Les Brown. You know what I mean? And right now, Shedeur quietly is trying to become the starting quarterback, because this is his probably best opportunity to be a starter in this league, because all I have to do is go around a 40-year-old guy that's not going to be here, another guy that's a franchise guy that they're going to get out of here as soon as they can, and I got this third-round guy in front of me. Oh, that's barbecue chicken.
At the end of the day, You just said it right. Kenny Pickett's not healthy. So one of these two guys is going to be a hit away from playing 2 weeks from Sunday, right?
Unless it's Tyrod Taylor, who's also there. This is the weirdest situation, quarterback situation in the league.
Yeah, we can't predict it, but I think the point that is important is that the Shedeur thing is going to make it, like, we all assume that it's nothing, but the fact that there's some, like, multiplying factor when you involve Shedeur makes it a little bit more interesting and makes it a possibility to build into something more interesting.
Not Tyrod Taylor.
You meant Tyler Huntley.
Tyler Huntley.
I knew what you
I'm
meant.
about to say, what happened? Break it on.
They do bring everybody
He's supposed to be on the Jets. Okay, much more football of the NFL variety on this Foot Forever. Be the night that it went completely off the rails. Jerry Jones, tell that. What a fun week. We are so grateful every time you choose to get up with us. And nothing more fun than Hembo and Graziano. Here we go. Since Jerry Jones bought the Cowboys in '89, they've drafted 51 Pro Bowlers. That's the most in the NFL.
Yeah.
Which team has drafted the fewest in that span?
I like doing trivia on days when Bart's here because, hey, sometimes he's helpful, but he's always hilarious and distracting. Like, I was trying to say the Jaguars because they didn't even exist in 1989, but he's talking me off the Jaguars. He's listing every single guy that's ever played for the Jaguars, whether he made a Pro Bowl or not. So it's not the Jaguars. I guess Houston Texans.
Because it's one that I did not hear anyone mention it through all the guessing that we have done.
What happened there?
The Jaguars are close, the Texans are close, the Browns are close, but the answer is the Raiders with only 18.
Right.
Not one person in the room said that. Stand by. We have just lost utter control of the proceedings. What's going on here? Stephen A., come on over.
How we doing?
Come over. Come on. We never see you in New York anymore.
My boys.
Stephen A.
Hey, you.
Stephen A., great to have you as always. First of all, we love to have you here. But let's get a quick preview. We played some of the conversation, your sit down with Jerry Jones. We played it a little bit earlier on the show. I know you'll play it expansively on First Take, and then you can see the whole thing on YouTube. But give us a little preview of what we have to say this morning about Jerry Jones and Micah Parsons and the way this thing has now turned.
Well, listen, I think that Bart, I saw you earlier going off the way that you did, and I thought it was completely justified on this part because if you're listening to it, you're going to take it that way. When you're sitting there interviewing him, listen, the man is approaching 83 years of age. He's a billionaire. He's accustomed to doing things his way and not bending at all, and that's exactly the impression that you got because, again, he sat down with me for over an hour. And so there's a lot of questions that I'm asking him, like, Jerry, this is a 25-year-old. You're worth $12.8 billion as a company. You yourself, according to Forbes, is worth about $16 billion. You've got to know that sitting across from a 25-year-old trying to act like that as a negotiation is wrong. And then he said some things that he hadn't told us before, like Micah called him. He didn't call. And he thought they had a deal. And then it was Micah that told him not to call him again after calling him and talking to him. Then Micah gets on the phone and says, don't call me no more. Call my agent, et cetera, et cetera. So he gives some of those details, but in the end, he's resolute in his position. And his attitude is, I got him under contract for 3 years. Yeah. He ain't going nowhere. I got him this year. I can franchise him next year, and I can franchise him the year after that. I got him for the next 3 years. Unless he's willing to sit out, what's he going to do? Now, that's obviously something that would irritate a lot of people listening to that. Sure. But it doesn't negate the fact that it is a fact that he does have that kind of leverage.
Does he appreciate that it also hurts his team? Because by franchise tagging him, the cap number will be worse. So, like, he's taking his position.
I brought that up too.
Yeah, he's taking, and so his pushback is that his personal pride is more important than building the best team.
We've been asking him that question, I brought up Dak. And this is what he said. And listen, I don't want to give away the whole interview, but he was like this. He said, we tried to work out something with Dak before. It didn't work. He played. We tried it again the next year. It didn't work out. He played. So in other words, he gave the indication, get on the field, then come talk to me. And so it seems to be that kind of standoff. All of us imagine that in the end, Michael will get his money. He'll end up in a Dallas Cowboy uniform, et cetera, et cetera.
Do you still expect that?
I do, because I asked him. I said to him, are you willing to trade him? You want him to go? He said, he's a Dallas Cowboy, and I got him for 3 more years. Unless he's willing to sit out for 3 years, what's he going to do?
He can do some other things, but really what everybody wants to know is, Who's the mama and who's the daddy?
What was the
And
deal
who
there?
is the kid?
Well, listen. You
We
think-
have to tune in to find that out. Right?
Well, listen, yes, that's true, but I found myself asking that damn question myself. So I'm just looking at him, and again, listen, you're old school, you're a billionaire.
Yeah.
You're addicted to your ways, and this isn't the first, and he's given every indication that it ain't gonna be the last. There's a certain way of doing things. And listen, David Mulugeta is one of the best agents in the business. And to act like, to sit up there and say it's about two people, it's not about that dude that's the distant third. It's like, damn, are you really getting what you're saying? It gets one, and I tell people all of this the time when you're interviewing somebody on a show like this and you're just talking to them for a few minutes, that's different. When you got them for an hour.
Yeah.
Hour and a half, you let them speak. Yeah. And you go like this. I want y'all to hear in its entirety what this man is saying. And that's what it was.
You will see the entire thing on YouTube. It will be available later today. And, of course, much more of the interview on First Take.
This kind of feels like a press run, and he's manufacturing some drama in order for us to watch the documentary. Like, please, everyone go watch the Netflix documentary. It's fun and entertaining so that Jerry can be happy and be quiet, because it feels like manufactured beef because he's trying to sell an album. And to me, it doesn't feel necessarily like it's genuine because it doesn't make sense. Like
It didn't feel manufactured to me. I felt this was different than Dak.
Okay.
This was different than CD Lamb.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know what? I believe he would say no. I don't believe that. I don't believe that at all. I think that for some reason you do have people, and we lament this on many, many occasions throughout our careers, where people are taking stuff personal, and you're looking at them like, what nerve for you to take it personal? We're the ones that should take it personal, not you.
Right.
But this is one of those situations where Micah would seem to be the one who should be taking it very personally, and it's Jerry Jones who seems to be taking it very personally. So I think you'll be very interested in what he has to say.
The impression you got from him is the ball's in Micah's court. Like Jerry's not inclined to move at all.
Jerry's not inclined to move at all, because Jerry's like, he's under contract.
Yeah.
He's a Dallas Cowboy. And anybody who's talking about trading, he said it's BS, because they can't talk to him. They know he belongs to the Dallas Cowboys.
All right, let's not give too much away again. First Take is coming up in 6 minutes. The entire interview available on YouTube. By the way, just very quickly, you and I are just about the same age. We both grew up in this city. Yeah. You are now the voice on the E-Train with the new launch of our new app yesterday. I saw that in the rollout, which I hosted on Tuesday, and I thought to myself, even for you, who has had so many cool things happen in your life, for to be a New York City kid who rode the subway to school, which I did and you did, you're suddenly the voice on the E-Train. That's pretty good.
It was cool, because let me tell you something. I'm a very busy man. I ain't got no time to be doing some of these commercials and stuff like that. But they went like this. They said, hey, man, it's about the E-Train. I was like this. Damn, I took that. I took that when I had to go to school.
Yeah.
When I had to go to work. I mean, I took that all my life growing up in Hollis, Queens. So I took the E or the F train to 179th Street at 179th